Hi, everybody. Welcome to this prayerful pause of the pastor time that we carve out of our busy lives to think for a few moments about something greater than ourselves. I know I'm kind of dark here. There we go. It's an automatic adjusting thing, so sorry for the moments when it's dark. I want to talk about tools today. Tools in particular, I didn't get out the big one, but here's a little one, right? A trowel used as a little shovel. Here's my medium-sized one. And of course, I have the big 6 foot or 5, whatever it is, tall, the one for grown-ups, where you stand up and you put your foot in. I call these to our attention today as our lesson. I feel like American Gothic standing here. We need to have the right tool for the right task. This one is great, but it's short. It's designed for a raised bed, or I guess raised bed would be the most likely. Something where I don't have to reach down very far. I use it when I'm filling pots mostly, because it's a little shorter. I don't have to lift up as high. And I have a raised bed, so I use it for that too. This, of course, is a hand trowel and doesn't hold anywhere near as much. I mean, compare the two, right? This has got to be about, 5 times as much. Of course, then you have the big shovels that you step on, and those come in different shapes. Spades, some people call them spades. I think the difference, isn't it, that the spade has the pointed end? I think so. Because a coal shovel is flat and straight across, a snow shovel flat and straight across. But I think because these dig into the dirt, they're spades. And the other tool, where'd it go? Is my little mini hoe, right? Ho, ho, ho. And that, of course, is not for digging, but it is kind of for digging up, but you can't pick the dirt up and move it. You can just move it out of the way. So why do I bring this up? Well, yes, because I'm using them all the time now, but it kind of reminds me of our faith. Our faith has to show up in different forms. It can only be a tool for us if we're using it in the right way. Some people will say to me, I prayed and prayed and prayed about thus and such, and it didn't happen. I want to say, well, maybe you were praying for the wrong thing. What do you think? It's not up to us to pray for an outcome. I can look at something and say, oh, I want the war to end right now. I may want the war to end right now, but as soon as I pray for that, then those thoughts become locked into that. And maybe that's not God's plan. Maybe God's plan is to have it last a little bit longer so that more can be accomplished, more can be drawn from it, more benefit can happen. It's like that story that I told a while ago, about this happened and everybody thought it was a bad thing, and then but it turned out to be a good thing, and so we went bad thing, good thing, who knows? It's kind of like that. We don't know when we pray. We don't know what an outcome should be. We know what we want. And in that case, I think the tool we want is prayer for ourselves. That's helped me to deal with, right? But as soon as I force my interpretation on someone else about what they need, oh, please help so-and-so to work out their differences so they can stay married. Well, maybe they're not meant to stay married. Maybe God has a whole plan in life for them with different partners. We don't know. And I get a little annoyed with people who say, no, you have to be specific with your prayer. Okay, maybe the specificity needs to come in praying that God's will be done, and help me to understand it, or help me to accept it, or help me to live into it. Because I'm not God, contrary to what some people might think. I'm not God, and I don't know what's best for you. I barely and often don't even know what's best for me. I think I do. But how can we? How can we when we can only see what's like right here in our 360? But God sees the whole thing and the whole span of our lifetimes. I bring this up because of all that's going on in our world. I think that prayer is the answer. It's just what we pray for. Are we using the tools in the right way? Do I want to pray for something bad to happen to someone else? Yes, sometimes I want to pray that. I cannot allow myself to pray that, however, because then that is sending out an energy from me that is counterproductive and takes me out of sync with God. We talk about being aligned with the Spirit. When we are in sync, when we are aligned, we just know everything falls into place. It may not be what we want. It may not be a happy response, but we can feel that it's the right thing. When someone has been suffering and they finally go home to meet Jesus, we're not happy about that, and yet we know it's the right thing. Well, it's the same thing about prayer. When we are praying and we are in sync, we know it. And I think the hardest thing for us to do is to pick the right tool, pick the right prayer. And almost always the universal tool or prayer is to ask to be used, to put me where you want me. Show me what to do. Help me to understand as much as I can. And when I don't understand, help me to do it right anyway. And I'm feeling that especially around our country right now, especially around our world. I don't know, I might think I know what the right thing is or what the best thing is. How arrogant is that, huh? If we think we understand what God is doing. Yeah. So, for today, class, choose your tools based on what you need it to do. And if you need to feel better, pray and ask God to help you to feel better, to find peace. Tomorrow we're going to talk about the 3 kinds of prayers. All right? Until then, thanks for carving out these moments as our prayerful pause with the pastor. And I'm Pastor Deb Swift of South Presbyterian Church in Rochester, New York. Until next time, God bless. Ooh, did you notice how the light changed when I said God bless? Must have been the right tool. God bless. Take care and bye for now.